All right. Good morning. Good morning. Damn, I lost money yesterday, but that's a whole different subject. Congratulations to it was a very good game, but you know what I mean. I just want to set this thing because a lot of people have been asking me like, how do I do it? How I've been doing. So I wrote this post. I'm gonna do this for you guys because you know the title of today's thing is, as you can see over here over my left, I mean another person helping out another individual, and it all has to do with amount of kindness that you have going with everything that you got going on with your situation that you might be in right now. But this is what has worked for me in a lot of things, and I just want to say that sometimes you just have to use a little bit of kindness. And I did this post podcast style, Facebook style, I mean YouTube style. Everybody, it doesn't matter which one it is. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You know what I mean? There's always ways to do a little act of kindness so that you can move forward with your life, especially emotionally. So the title is three ways kindness can help you lead a better life emotionally. Hi guys, yeah, Gordon Watt here with the new true kindness is like the wind. You can't see it, but you can feel it. This episode, whatever you want to call it, podcast style, YouTube, whatever, Facebook, for every individual currently not happy with themselves, but who wants to be more of a giver and be truly happy with themselves without having to think people will take advantage of them. Every day I do this on a daily basis because part of my job is actually giving people directions, giving them a piece of me every single day so that they can do something with their vacation, spend more time with their family, and have a really good time. And this is what has helped me move on, especially with Andy being born. I had a call from my other friend. He was like, "Did you get what you was looking for emotionally?" I said, "I definitely did, and now I understand a lot more." But here's a scoop, guys. I'm gonna give you 3 pointers, 3 little stories, 3 chapters, perspectives, whatever you want to call it. It's gonna be something that might just help you feel good about yourself. Do something that might be able to understand you emotionally and how to be a giver instead of keep taking, right? So number 1, guys, being kind to someone from the heart. And when you do things and not expect nothing in return, and just being kind to a stranger might make you feel better about yourself than you just taking. You see a lot of those homeless people. You see people that want to you might be holding a lot of groceries, or you might see somebody looking for a parking stall or something. Sometimes you just gotta let it go and just let them have it for the day, because you win the battle within yourself and win the war in the long run, because you're going to be feeling good about yourself better than you thought ever before. And a lot of the times people just want to take, and one of the main things that's propelled me to a lot of these heights is actually being kind to people on a daily basis, because I get to fulfill my emotional cup in a way that, just like this picture is showing right here. Sometimes you just need a little helping hand, and a act of kindness goes a very long way for a lot of people. Let me take this image off right here so we can get to it. In chapter number 2, don't let your emotions determine your actions. And what do I mean by this? Don't fake with people, guys. I see a lot of people, I've been in this online industry, and a lot of people are so fake. You find the authenticity in the person, because people can feel more than they see. You might fake the funk. You might be trying to do this out of the goodness of your heart, but if it's not truly giving, guys, it's not gonna be received as well. It seems like when you donate money to anything else, or say you want to help a person on the side of the road get a meal to eat with a family. Do it from the heart because you want to wholeheartedly, because they need help. Think of the situation where you might be in that same situation one day, and you want somebody to lend a helping hand. You don't have to give them money. You might give them some words of advice. You might give them a hamburger, a Happy Meal, whatever it is. Just give it to them and just walk away. I do this on a daily basis, guys. And you know what, guys? A lot of times you feel you feel better about yourself because you know you helps another individual, and it'll come back tenfold. You mean, you know, don't second guess or choose anything for personal gain. You know, a lot of times people say, Gordon, how do you make money? I mean, how do you make a living? I said, the more I give, the more I receive. You mean, the more emotional well-being I get, the more clearer my head is on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Because just let's face it, guys, you have a cup within your head emotionally. You know, it's like tokens. The more you give out these tokens, these emotional clips, these things that you want to do something for other people, the more it gets filled. And the more it gets filled, the more you grow as a person. Now, I'm not saying you might come rich overnight by just giving away all your money, okay? Or you might giving all your aspects, but you might be able to become more of a whole individual that you might be missing. You know, how do I know this? Is because I used to be that person that used to give thinking I wanted something in return. But once I started giving with expecting nothing in return, a lot of things changed for me and my family. And it's like, I've been getting it wrong all this time. All right, so perspective number 3, chapter 3, thing number 3, you know what I mean? True kindness is given unconditionally. Always be kind from the heart and authentic. You know, just to touch upon those things that I just mentioned before. Be kind for who that person you're trying to be kind for who they are. Don't pass judgment. It's not about their current situation. They might be on some bad times. They might need a little helping hand. They might just need a simple smile that might be able to push him in a direction. Like, you know, I pride myself on for a lot of my friends and situations that, you know, been in the situation, or my brothers that are currently struggling because of they just seem to get it. You know, once you have that emotional well-being where you can actually give from the heart, do things to help other people, it's gonna carry on, you know, man. It's gonna help a lot of people that come in your circle that's going trying to get in that right direction. You know, I get a lot of calls, a lot of messages that, Gordon, they want to ask me, how did you go from this situation, you know, drug addict, criminal activity, all this stuff. In fact, let's change the story. I just had a call from one of my pilot friends, right? He flies, he flies G5s, and he goes like, Gordon, 99% of the people that know you from your past would never, ever have thought you would have a family, a kid, and be in the situation you're in right now. And I said, yeah, you ain't the only one, Doug. I'm the one that I'm pretty much sure 99.9% thought I would have been back inside doing something stuff, but I decided to change. And while I changed over the times, I became more kinder, more wiser, more giving. And it all leads up to this is a situation that was helped me for all these years. You know what I mean? All the accolades I've done, all the things that you can do, all the goals you want to set, you can do it by becoming a giver. And once you become a giver, more doors are going to open up for you. So let's recap for those individuals currently watching right now. And you know, basically, you might be saying you're happy with yourself, but let's do a recap of what we talked about, right? When you're kind to someone, you do it from the heart, and you do it with all emotional strength, with no strings attached, guys. You mean that's one of the secrets. When you are kind to someone, you don't let emotions basically determine your actions and what you're going to be doing for them. When you are kind to someone, you do it because you really don't want anything from them. And that's a really important thing, guys. You know, a lot of times, you know, I work where we're kind to people to get gratuities. Me, I do it the exact opposite. And I tell some of my guests, and it's like, they ask me, Gordon, why are you so nice? Because I love what I'm doing. I love giving. And guess what, guys? My gratuities tenfold because of the way I behave, I give, and I do things for that. And I just want the same for you guys, because a lot of times you get it wrong. I got it wrong for so many times. But the more you give, the more value, the more you give from the heart, the more genuine you are, the more you get in return. It might not even be monetary. So you simply want to be kind for who they are, because you don't know what their situation is. You know what I mean? And simple gestures go a long way. Like I said before, opening a door, carrying somebody's package, giving them directions, smiling, your facial expressions, your tone of voice, everything matters, and it goes a very, very long way, guys. Always be kind to people from your inner core. You know, if it comes from inside, that's all you can give, because that's, if you was broke with no money in your pockets, but you could give a small gesture, that's more value than what anybody else can ask for, right? You might have been there. You might have been there where you needed that smile. You needed that someone to tap you on the shoulder and say everything's gonna be okay. To show that you gotta show that someone cares, and then that person that you're helping might in return do that for somebody else. And it doesn't come from, say, your mood, just because your mood might be, oh, I want to be a giver today. Do it every single day on a daily basis with different individuals, and you're going to get different reactions to what you get going on, right? Now, remember, kindness, guys. I mean, let's switch this camera over here. Remember, kindness is given unconditionally. I mean, so you can fill up, like I said in the past, that you can fill up your emotional cup elsewhere to give later, because the more you give, guys, the more you're going to get return. Now, if you really want to know more about, so I'm revamping my blog, and it's going to be based on kindness, and it's not a Mr. Rogers thing. It's somebody that truly authentically want to give more information for you guys, and you want to take your well-being, your family's well-being to the next level. Read some of the blog posts, do some of the things, or you might be able to see me on Facebook, but go over to GordonWatt.com, figure out what we're going to do. I got a couple TV shows going on with some of my partners, so we're bringing you more content and more things of this nature. It's not all about business, guys. And I just want to pass this on to you for this week, and I just want to say aloha, be kind to anybody you see, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, guys, bye.